The card on the bottom of the deck is the exploitation card. And this card is about what it sounds like. It's kind of about being treated as one of the number. It's about others who will work you very, very hard so that they can reap the benefit of your royal jelly or your honey, if you will. This has to do with trying to the need, I guess, to set boundaries with other people and not allow yourself to be taken advantage of. I think I want to put the card down and see what we have coming in with some of these other cards here. Because I noticed that, when I set out the first card, it was the Blasted Oak. The Blasted Oak. The Blasted Oak relates to the Tower in other cards. It should be pretty obvious. We've got the lightning that breaks down whatever this person is standing on or hanging from, plummeting them towards the ground. The idea in the Blasted Oak is that it's something that was built that was not necessarily to the best interests of the person involved. What I mean by that is sometimes we build something with our ego. We want to win. We want to, we may get stubborn in our mind about something. It's got to be this one thing or this one way or, what have you. Or it could be that we were coming from a good place. We had a good heart in the situation, but for whatever reason, it was we were putting good money before bad, or we were peddling our fish in the wrong market, or maybe it's that we signed on to a job or to a relationship that wasn't for our highest good, some kind of a karmic relationship. And the Blasted Oak is about a rebalancing. When you've been putting your energy too much into things that are exploitative, whether you are being exploited or whether you are the person exploiting somebody else, this type of thing will happen, right? It will manifest in that way. We have to be very careful that whatever our steps are, we're doing our best every day to work towards our highest good. And there comes a point where we have to leave something, and it may cause a big disruption. Leaving a relationship, even if we live together, or leaving a company that we've worked for a while. It could be anything like that. Now, crossing you, the energy coming into play here is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups, represented here by the heron. The Queen of Cups could be a water sign. That would be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces person, potentially. Not necessarily, though. But this has to do with somebody who may be benevolent to you. Could be somebody who is, a wife or mother, a parent, somebody like that. Or it could be possibly some new loving relationship is coming in, a benefactress or a person who is like a positive co-worker experience, somebody who's going to help you through something, right? Because this is a great deal of upset, but there is going to be some positive support coming for you or coming to help you. Then again, it could be some of you might be leaving a marriage type relationship because there's a Queen of Cups coming in, a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces person. So take it as it resonates, right? What's crowning you is this reflection. And even as we have the heron in this card, we also have the heron in this card here. Reflection has to do with going within, seeking wisdom, looking back on the past. What was it that put us into this Blasted Oak situation in the first place? How did we get in that position? How did we get ourselves stuck in that position? Did we make the choice to leave it, or is it forcing us out? Whatever that situation is for you, take as it resonates, as I said before. But there is that place where we do need to reflect upon our role in that, because we want to learn our karmic lesson once. We don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, because that is the Alcoholics Anonymous definition of insanity anyway, if nowhere else. But it seems to me like that quote goes back to Einstein as well, Albert Einstein. Okay. Beneath you is the Page of Arrows. And the suit of arrows could pertain to Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, maybe a young person in your life. But most likely this is some kind of a communication that came in, a new beginning of an intellectual enterprise, a mental pursuit, an idea, something that comes to you that's a very positive thing. This is about drumming out new rhythms. As I mentioned in one of the other readings, I think Gemini came up with woodpecker as well. It has to do with this idea that drums are used for communication, right? And tribal peoples would drum from one village to the other, or they would communicate through the use of drums as they were coming back in from, say, a battle or from a hunter-gathering party. And they would communicate information based on rhythms and things set by drums. But this really does have to do with you drumming out new rhythms in your life, receiving positive communication that's coming in that's going to help you make a decision. If this blasted oak is you deliberately making that decision, it's because you've received some information that's making this all possible. And then you can come at it in a loving capacity, like the Queen of Cups, and make your change in your life, whatever that is. But you will have help. In fact, the communication could have been from the Queen of Cups, even offering help or whatever that is. If you're changing jobs, it could be you received a solid job offer and that there's someone benevolent that's helping you in that transition process. Or if it's a new relationship, some information came in that's helping you make this decision, that's telling you that, it's time to let go of that person or persons that are no longer benefiting you. Now, behind you, we see the Knight of Arrows, which is the hawk. The hawk is about wonderful vision, seeing things clearly and from a distance, seeing the overview, seeing not only one small little mouse in a field, but also seeing the relationship between the mice and all the other elements of that field, being able to see it all together. Is it safe for me to swing in and grab that opportunity? Seizing the opportunity. The communication came in, you seized upon some kind of an opportunity, and that's setting some of this in motion. Then again, for some of you, there was a solid communication. You had a suspicion. You were seeing maybe somebody's cheating, and you were seeing some kind of communication that was coming in, and that's destroyed this false relationship, this karmic relationship that was not built on your best interests, but that was built on somebody else's desire to exploit you. Again, this could be work for some people. This could be romantic relationship for others of you. And some of you could be going through both at the same time. That could be a very dramatic shakeup. So it's tough to say. This is the future. This card is the Three of Arrows and has to do with jealousy, heartache, heartbreak, third-party situations, and so on. So that may be what this communication is. I referred to this as a positive communication before, but true story, don't you want to know something like that? Don't you want to know if somebody is being unfaithful to you? But either way, this is about giving you the information you need to make decisions. And for some of you, it may be spearing opportunities, seizing the day, seizing the moment, being able to find what you need. See, this is water down here, but it almost looks like the sun is either setting or rising. I do feel like it's rising here, but it's almost coming out of that cup. There's something positive when we illuminate the things that are in the darkness. We illuminate those, we can address them, we can deal with them. This heron here has a snake. It's a water snake. And she was able to procure that snake by seizing the opportunity when it came in. She's able to extract nutrients, things to sustain her from these waters. So even though we're going through some emotional stress and emotional times, we're still able to find the benefit from the things of our emotional life. We have the intellect in the representation of these wings. We can fly in the air. We have mastered the intellect suit. Right? We've mastered the intellectual piece. With our emotions here in the water, we also nest and give birth to things as heron in the shore, either on trees or hidden in the reeds, depending on the species of heron or crane or what have you. And therefore that links the earth element as well. And certainly with the sun, that brings the fire element. So there's the passion for life and the life's blood. So we see all of those together in here, and we see a well-balanced individual or situation. And that's really what this is about. This blasted oak, if you remember when I first started talking about it, this is about rebalancing a negative or exploitative situation. That's what it's been about this whole time. As long as we extract the nutrients from it, our suffering need be minimal here. Need be minimal. We already had an inkling of what was going on. We saw it. We saw the forest and the trees, right? So we can minimize to a degree this stabbing of the heart, this third party situation, this jealousy, this disturbance in our heart chakra. And Leo is associated with the heart chakra. So we're very well aware of our pain when we go through it. And, there's that to be mindful of as well. Now, I do notice here, we have this exploitation card on the bottom of the deck, but right beneath it, we have our strength card. And the strength card is the Leo card. Whatever, I want to say fuckery, for lack of a better word, whatever misery or shenanigans, I guess, that you've been going through, this here indicates you have the strength and the courage and the presence of mind. Here we see our hawk. That's, I think, technically an eagle. But we see again this bird of prey and the keen vision and the keen sight to know what needs to do. Right? Sometimes we do have to fight for what we want or need. We see the blood-tipped spear over here. Right? Sometimes we have to do it. We got to make it happen if that's the case. If we've been exploited, in some kind of a way, someone's taking advantage of you, you do have to draw on that internal strength and say, absolutely not. We don't have to be violent in doing so. Understand, these cards are symbolic. They're not trying to encourage anyone to physical violence. But we do have to set it down and say, that's not the way I want to live my life. I'm not going to. Now, the card representing you, or representing the Leo here in the reading, is the Five of Wands, which is power. Be careful of power struggles. And I'm going to bring in already our environment card, the Five of Arrows. Both of these fives are about petty squabbles, petty struggles, the inability to achieve what it is that you've been aiming for, which I suspect is why you've been feeling exploited in the first place, and which is leading to this blasted oak moment. You have the awareness and the realization that this is just not even in your best interest. And it's time to move on. It's time to move on in whatever capacity this means for you. And this is really what it's just reminding you of what you already know to be the case, right? You've received a communication, so you're ready to do this. Now, hopes and fears. You're hoping for that spark of life. You're hoping that this resurgence, that this communication coming in is indicating something positive for you that's going to incite your passion. As a Leo, as a fire sign, you are not the group of people that are going to be able to just do a grind at your job or go through the motions in your relationship. You experience everything in a passionate way, from your disappointments to your excitement. And you're not going to want to just slug away in some autopilot kind of maneuver. You have to feel passionate about what you do on a day-to-day basis. And with that also comes a fear that you might lose interest if you do start some new endeavor. You may lose your passion for it. Don't worry about that right now. Just really don't worry about that. If there's any sense too in, you have your little side businesses or your side goings on that you're engaged in. These different elements together kind of speak to of a jack of all trades or a Jill of all trades, in that you may be able to dabble a little bit here. Maybe you pick up a few hours there. Maybe you pick up a few hours here. Maybe you've got your side business selling some kind of product, good or service, whatever that means for you. If it's about a relationship, it could be that you're balanced in the different elements of your life to help you through this transition. Right? Be very careful that you're not living in this mental energy of the Five of Arrows, which is an air sign. So that's mental, thoughts, intellect. Be sure that you're not living in your intellectual insecurities to a sense that you're not able to manifest whatever it is that you're desiring to manifest. And note, your final outcome card is Harvest. Harvest. This is about reaping what you've sown, all this work that you've put through. This is about getting plenty, bounty, This move, this transition that you're undergoing is going to be very, very positive because you are going to reap what it is that you sow. You're going to feel passionate about it. Note that at the core here, we have these little yods, which represent like those little fireballs, right? That's about spark. That's about life. It's wands. It's a fire suit. This harvest is about bringing forth the things you feel passionate about, the things that you love with your heart, body, mind, soul, and knowing that along this way, you will definitely have the strength to get through this. This is a temporary situation that you're going through. Be very, very gentle with yourself. Spend your time in your self-care. And note that you will have better things, probably around the actual harvest time, like around October and so on. September may be that kind of a transition month for many of you, but be very patient with yourself as you get through that. Be careful. Don't talk down to yourself, but you certainly use your power wisely, use your resources, and use your energy wisely, and you will find yourself in a very, very good spot. So this is avoidable, right? This is avoidable to a very large degree, but it is going to mean you have to put yourself first in your best interests. Don't settle for less. Don't settle for being exploited by people that don't care about you, whether that's work, whether that's home, whether that's romantic life. You always want to be sure that you're your own best ally in whatever it is that you do. Now I'm shuffling. You may be able to hear me in the background. I'm shuffling some Angel Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine to see if the angels have any guidance for the sign of Leo for September 1st through the 15th regarding health, healing, wisdom, spiritual or life purpose, or anything else that they feel that may benefit our Leo friends and any cross watchers that may be watching at this time. Okay, this is an excellent card. The Emperor. The Emperor is the 4 card. The Emperor can represent Mars, which is masculine energy, masculine power, masculine sexual energy, getting things done. Divine masculine. Can represent Aries, potentially. Excuse me. Getting a little thumb cramp here. Okay. This card represents organization and logic, structure and discipline, and leadership. So reading from the book, it's important to cultivate logic, discipline, and order right now. This card signifies that although your dreams are valid and sound, they still need guidelines and organization so that they can manifest properly. Create a detailed plan for how you'll proceed and maintain kind but authoritative control over how that plan is implemented. Feel empowered to take a leadership role in your career and any projects you are working on. Structure and order are your friends as you move from the preparation stage into the execution of your plans. Believe in your ability to be a positive and diplomatic leader. Get organized so that you can be more effective. Additional meanings of this card include the desire to be a success, stability, making wise choices, security, government agencies, law enforcement, the respect of others, and fatherhood. Archangel Michael is the angel of strength and protection who oversees everyone's life purpose. Call upon Michael for courage and strength as you make important and necessary life changes. He can also help you focus your logical mind and left brain talents upon your projects.